na yakoto se wokosi abofra na enimu no so wokosi na enimu no so a sebe akole nwuye into what is the purpose of you trying to bury a year abofra we did just 5 months for what purpose amanfo chem say ye ka se sebe nsofo binom omo kumase monten so no nyanyame na afra omo no mo an omo frafra mu ye nema munyini ebi nie because tell us why osofo as young as you are we be decide say wo de obekọ na wakwa akosi abofra as young as he is no ukosie no for what purpose exactly as Abraham no ka say there a police for answer asoni mu. Now there is a video I be kwa share with regards to this particular issue we say ba ensem ne bedo musuko de amamu.
Amrano mutia na ni sabu le gugu ano akrano ngui omo na ka ebe sie na ni mu so omo di che ni wanu amadi ko mukuru ana anya ye omo di ba ha ye di ko fie ni ye di ko fie nyina o ma sa di chen akoto akrano ko fie no ma mia ne kon eso mukuru ye eno ene ya wa haki no kunu o ma ye clear o ma ni akuya de mo se akosi ya akosi nyami ya akosi aso me se akura fa chere police station me ko fa fa anula na dube mo do mo ba de se mo do police for be ka ba na police
Abusianti video ye ko share no the ground ye abofra ye hwe musafe na wedi 5 months no osofo anidin de ye Richmond akwesi frempon woni ye accomplices bi ye ka ne ho wo mo de wo muso wo mukosi abofra no wo abrofrem wo entwima impuma mensini ni mu wasanteme mu no na ensa ekoso ni mu na wotietie mu ana chese in the act no na wo mu ekopie no so there have been a lot of conversations around this incident ACB say this shows say asofo okrodwem hanum say no sebi ye so ne so ebe yi a yen hyase ne yen so ne so Christian council fom hunrewre mu because this is really not pleasant. There is an eyewitness reporter and nso abeto monten so ache say eyewitness ne kire mu kwaye nsem ne fa so enam so ema police for kra etimi ekoso osofo we emu ye bejebre na yeti wono nso anu de sema wode etu dwaye ba ya to ansem ne so e de amamu
beto se omomi ansa gina ha don ko gina amnanim nti o ye na mbusa o mo se na mo ye dan na mo se o makwara bi a obeso ye wo mo no ofiri mu na mba be sie no na mo se sa enti na papa na akwara nda ne sa so no ebe san manim e de akwara ma de o wa amnanim na mo se akwara na wo se wo wunya na wo home no na de na chese akwara na wu na papa na de no to efom ho papa na to fom ho se papa me hwe wo wu na me bie no so wo ntoma no akwara na ni go so a ni nsa nyina popo which means you na ntoma na mo de kuri ni tiri ho ne ya onya ho nya da enhome ti me bie we ni free na ni no so no na me da bi wo nwui mempene ama mu nsie no wo nwui ana mo so wo wu na mo kobo na na amane na me da bi na na mo kobo na amane e bia de wo manka ti mo mesen mi enko because ade we de me hwe ma ni nsi wa ha na me ka mo mienu di manim ane papa na na me do mo bese ko ahemfo no ho no ti me ko na won so tire se rubisa me se ablanti wa ba mo ho ana na so wa ba mo ena o chire mu se ablanti bi wo ha efre no chozo o ti se dede wo ekran si e no ko e di ko hu ye ni se o mo ba mna akra na o mo se owu na o mo ko akosi no akra ni mu nti chozo na bebo na na ko mama ne ma na ko so e ba to ba ne ko fa akra no ba e leza akra no no krese akra ni mu leza mikra no ablanti no akwa mbisu ebe dada na nye ade na na asa nka me na kamekwa akọchire mba na ade asa na zo muso president ena ma me ma se premu die ne die aya itimi ko ha najo
abusia eyewitness onipa no wo ho no ma na wo kopie wo mo so ebra na omu edi se nipa bonifo semwe no na yetie ne nsemu a wode etu jana chese wotrema okoto se sofo yi ene ne accomplice a eka ne ho no wo mu etu amuna wo di abofra no ekwa akohye mu no obisa no mo se abofra no awu enti no wo mu eba abepe baabi na wo mu asie no nanso ohye se de ne mesi kwo no ohye se ahokeka bi akoso ewa abofra no mu no hu se enye no kre sa abofra no wanie wonye omo fe so a omu etimi enwantimi ensie abofra ne nyina mu no utie ensem ekoso na na chese osofo ni chemu a woko nana wo as kro no so no koka che ne se ope baabi esie ne de hye na ne de hye ayeden awu wo mo koye azan de hye no kra wo wuye and the question amanfo bebre ebusa sabre ne se edien pa potin ene nam so a osofo mu a obeye wadwene se ukosi abofra sebe onwuye eno no ye dien ebi chemu a omususu se this is more or less like ebia eduro bia wakwaje asebe wode performing miracles wa sorry o ene acquire restaurant mu wono a esa akwa perform biem because obi akra onwuye usie na yeden ebi kra ebusa questions akra no onya ne he wan ba ene ade asabre me no ka say de bibie ni a police for omunsa so apostle Dr. Richmond Akwesi Frimpong omunsa so nimu a abofra no so womo edina kwakopie mu ewa yaresabia womo ehwehwe se bibia entochema ne ho na afia police fo ahyase ayenhwehwemu ama yehu se nokre se abofra no sebe na wofo niminsem ni because ebi twem a it could even be se owia abofra no anaso se bia woni abofra na wofo ene hyehye ho na sebe abofra yi wode no kwakosie no na wo hwe se de okosie abofra na animu no so a the conversation on social media ni na ekokowie rituals and some of the comments are na amanfo pass with regards to this particular issue no and say omasha ehunu say most of the quack pastors quack to say asofo ayeju omudi enye yie asofo entronko na ahye omuma no asantememu no omo na ama abe a very kind of ochina say obete say osofo bi edibone a ubedwedwe mu abekono na oyesofo a ofi asantememu and at this point they need the Christian Council to start acting ASAP because we won't know the purpose of the Christian Council any longer. Say no Christian Council ewo ho na empanimfo wo honom and their duty is to make sure say edie bi e fanya mesom ho ne a Christopher ho ne ade no ebegira brane na akoyie dia and they should start acting because ya bre and say ebinum kra link no to some of the pastors are in the past no more issues abetoto mountain so thinking that this is becoming be can say me hu say me kan kra ya de bia aba beka enti ene obehu ane say ne osofo ya say ochina sofo ya say and it's on and on and on and on and nothing is being done about it ebi mche say sentence bi e wo no ma e wo say edema sofo we no and wo say wo consider ne kra with immediate effect no wo end sentence no because this is inhumane. This is more like infringing on the fundamental human rights of that child. And so a lot of people are so much interested in this issue. Mo call it for immediate investigation. They want to know who and who are involved. It's and say Abraya coaches of one. Then you know there is another person or kahu. If you just say who is this person? Sabe abufane papa na anasa abufane nebusie ni bia na because omurem and asofo ni koria because these days so na ma beti ani say obi se ne bayera obeti ani say obi say I mean kids are getting missing na no ada ye kaya man probi he ya and obi ko ria obi ba na nko di abufra no edwane akọ enti say pa no how safe is emofe wo krodwema how safe are Ghanaians and no na question man for bi say President John Dramani Mahama policies are there by but then he should increase some of the policies or they by a bomb of from by near there because in recent times most of the updates never nanu dear by a wejai mami sabi a janine again will mix the man and what is happening to our kids these are the future leaders I bear a whole lot of conversation intuition ma apostle Frimpong sabi de na so aye papa because you say asem mo hoyi empe nipa ne pe ne ho asem we share flyer na say otimu say onya small man like that we born a clerical and there've been a lot of men of God doing so much of evil in this country. And there was another update and also by also for ebi so saa akosese abofra. And you see, these issues are going on and on and on. At this point, it looks like one particular region. Some are even tagging a O24822. Say, beya, traditional ruler. One fan in 9 simubi. No one just said, don't bet me, I know, because asantimem, they are software dosun, and so dosun, just say, Uta so any bidding crana, ye marshal. Kosheba be a war and now TV. So most of these churches are also having a can say TV channels are more publicized or more there. People will go there and at the end of the day, no, they will fall victim to all this evil from this men of God. Sabe there, ultimus and seminal. Edika amount for eka ho asem now ye we free osofo nsem so abusuam na yakopie mu ewo nsem foforo eso de a me no ka say emrante mienu bi ya che wo mu ewo tema committee 6 ni nyina no efa robbery incident bi akoso so makwako bo bi nkofo bi to allegedly adu omusika ni ade no mu dwane no na police for nso ensa so omumu a omache omo ewo tema community 6 now yenhwe video no embra na yento ansem ne so emfa mam
sisia I want sisia oma kunimpa no St Paul so omu dwane o so be yiska bi egu fem Scan your chin sano. That shot man 4 cry. Scan your chin sano. Live update. Scan. Scan the crap police in the blade go can. Chale kan fa be see ni. Dale.
Abusia emrantie ya omususu se wo moye armed robbers no muti anye ye wo mokọ robi obi a wo nso edwane no na a police for cop patrol wo brono no so a wo nsakoso omumu a sebe emoye so omu dwane na police for etutuo emetuo koka wo mututimu se wo da fem na sika wo mawiawia ne ade no a police for ne twen edifro omu botom ne ade na ede ade a eno na chese amanfo tem se Ghana police for said wo maye wild no uye ya ne achew no it is good say emrante we ya che omu for all you know no enipa omu ko wia omu no kra no sikapuduo because we share video na utie background voice na tinu say enye sikaketwa na police for no twen edi efri wo mo ebotom and they say the robbers for no be ya nka mo nsachira because Ghana police for nso ani abre wo mo so esa ni nyina mu no there's been an incident I monitor for some time now with regards to jewelry robbery so somewhere last year na no ada ye dey update by say emrante 9 omuda screen sisui esusu se baako Lebanese no ya che omu abusia Ghana police for the release by ya na omu chemu se emrante no there've been a lot of CCTV footage say robbery akese akoso jewelry shops ahodo krom hanum say no womo ehobon mu enu nti ye de omo ekogina court no ene omasa akopie mu court na court etina omo nsem no so no na chese omatu asem no akokoshe 27th of April omesa akọ amaye de omo asem na so bail de ya ma womo ebie now bra omo kopie mu court no there is a video honoma yenkọhwe na yemra na yento asem no so.
Enter then you take her.
Abusian for emrante a yesusu se robbery case course no wo mo ho ebon mu ebie no ene ehu so makopie mu wo court na wo hwe nsem a eba from the court ne dia na emu chemu a there have been a lot of videos court a judge for ensa so mu a wo mahunu se robbery akese pa akoso won kran hanum say any other places like Takrade no emrante we mu omohubo mu bia sabe do mu nsem na say reveal a whole lot of things about the beach say na Lebanese nipa utumi fi ukrom eba ha ye kyerem say ono kra no e na gang leader no no o de ideas ne ba ono sporty places no na wa tebiri nkrofo we mu e de omakwa akopie mu ho na omakwa akoye robbery nti ene de aban sa so omumu no na chese ni nyina akwa akowiewie se they'll be going back to court to continue aye omo proceedings no on the 27th of April ebusia yeni ebedi ekire na yamamu update ewo sansem we ehun Yemfiri ensem way ehso na yenkopie mu ewo nsem foforo so one of the policies and as initiative President John Dramani Mahama wa champion this year pa manakopie mu ewo UN no slave trade reparation transatlantic slave trade reparations just omu kire mu ewo se the foreign countries America amanya wo mo bag Ghana ne other African countries ebeye slavery ewa hanom say no they need to compensate us na say wo say wo mo pataye ni nyina kosi say wo mo dia afa yakayaka die mu eno kraka ho na say wo mo no matimi akom anim developmentally na ye de yenye ndu enim no na ye niema biga na ha kra de etete say wo kwa santememu some of the artifacts ni adea is made of gold ni adea na akodi die binum ho eno mu chem say wo say wo mo ema reparation compensate here. Na watwe mu President John Dramani Mahama ekopie mu ewo France na ensem bebre epie mu ebaye enen the dash queens no so no say Ghana says France is open to engaging on slavery reparations na chese omu chema ebra President John Dramani Mahama ekopie mu ewo France na watwe mu a woni President Emmanuel Macron wono na mampani de ma France mani hie mu no akoba say womo aye krado se womo ene bibimaya hodo no ebedi nhyiemu efa reparations no ehun so on your screens wait for Reuters or say April 3rd Ghana said France was open to having discussions with a coalition of countries that are calling for reparations for transatlantic slavery following a meeting last week with President Emmanuel Macron into Uchema na say Ghana emampani wodi abetuja say France mampani ade atumu se woni amaya hodo yenyina ye pray say the foreign countries no and I said the western world no omo ebe compensate ye no woni omo ebe hia so Ghana's President John Dramani Mahama accompanied by Foreign Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa and other officials held talks with Macron in Paris on Wednesday last week in Ghana yemampani said dem di kan no Wakono wone Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa ene mpanimfo bi ne kopie mu a wo mo ne France former mpani Emmanuel Macron hie mu o Paris na wotwetwe mu no na wo mo edi sa enkomo no say Ablakwa said on X after the meeting that Macron has indicated France was open to discussions on reparations including the return of looted artifacts addressing global economic inequities and dismantling structural racism. Into omuchema yera Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa and wode koto ne X handle say Emmanuel Macron wode atuja say France for ayomadwen say wo mu ebedi nkomo na eniema say de bidi kan ye no egudie na eniema bi not all egudie ni ade ekopie mu other African countries no yensa betimi asomu na afen so eba no economical instabilities and as inequities ebi akomo anim chen ebi ni ade no eno nso betimi ahye na omadi hu enkomo say Ablakwa said that despite that abstention Macron had said France was willing to have an open and honest dialogue on the matter. Into that just say France mino omomadwen se omo de betimi ama nkomo twetwe bi akoso na nokre wo ho ayemfanto ade ne AI yehu se bi nso a na yehu se bi o say in 2001 France recognized transatlantic slavery as a crime against humanity, but like most European nations, it has not formally apologized for its involvement or committed to reparations. 2001 afinimu France ebejitu mu say eyesa transatlantic slave trade no awo eye ne sebe eyade na eye bonne kese pa etie nipa ewa asase so nanso wo hya aman ahodo a wo mo kan European nations ne ho a bebre na enya de a wo mo de dwanto anase achelpa ama ye kan sen aman a wo mo ede wo mo fa asa yakayaka no ene obre no emu enti no nkomo twetwe ne de wo say from the 15th to the 19th century At least 12.5 million Africans were kidnapped and forcibly transported by mostly European ships and sold into slavery. France trafficked an estimated 1.3 million people, according to the slave voyage database. It's almost from the 15th to 19th century. About 12.5 million Africans and kidnapped European ship ni mo aye koton wo mo koye nkoa e we bi man. So France in particular no mu chema enipa be 1.3 million na France for ekoton wo mo ma wo mo ekoye nkoa e wo aman ahodo so. Enti je se wo hwemu a na je se France man no wo mo de wo mu chema they would want to have a conversation on this reparation, because wo mo nso wo mo ka ho bi France they colonized and did their slavery with some of the francophone countries, mostly Benin, Cote d'Ivoire, those kind of francophone countries, Ben Ghana they are indulging in slavery. Now, on other issues, Kenya Mampeni William Ruto what in Sambia Babetuja their far African Union, and what he's saying, this is not the first time Babetuja. There have been several times issues have happened, particularly Nanwa de ya Ghana tomato jedifoko PMU Burkina Yakobo Mutoni and the Amafo Brechemu say, what is the use of the African Union? And it looks like and the Kenyan presidents were confirming my sense with Trema was share AU say they don't have any potential of leading Africa. Say betimi aye nyama esombo na say enyema bia eni esuso e wo Ghana krodue mo so muntimi enhwe African continent no eso wa chene nsemu ye beko na yakoje ensemu a wo de etu dwa ye ba ye beto ansem no so de amamo.
My colleagues, heads of state, gave me the assignment to work on the reform of the Africa Union institutions and organs to make them fit for purpose for a time as this, as we look into the future. I can tell you without an iota of doubt that Africa Union as is today is not fit for purpose, is not fit to provide the leadership that this continent needs going into the future. And therefore, there is need for the reform of the Africa Union. I am asking of you, as intelligence leaders, to assist us to figure out what kind of Africa Union that we need to be able to unlock the potential that exists in our continent and the opportunities that we have, so that as we march into the future, as we become the single largest market, as a quarter of the world's population live in our continent, we take advantage of that position, because otherwise it can pose a major risk for us. And I want to tell you that there is a lot of resistance to the reform of the Africa Union. And we must work together for us to have an organization that is fit for purpose, that can represent our continent appropriately, and that can steer this continent into the future. My assignment to you is to assist us as leaders in this continent. And I know that many of you speak to leaders, presidents in our continent in some very personal way. For us to unlock the future of our continent, we need a fit-for-purpose Africa Union.
I was saying Kenyan president Yera Ruto and I could see in some more they etu jana chese chema the African Union na ye hu ni sabre ni de they are not fit for purpose wo ntimi nya adwuma no ye pe African Union na sebe wo mo betimi aboa ama bibiman ahodo a wo mo ewo African Union ko ni mu no akọ nanim de a and it is not the African Union we are seeing right now until say pa de as the confirmation number that in someone now for air come with their displeasure with the work the African Union is doing in general no and no and a Kenyan president and so what then they ababetuja wo honoma akwakoye ensem bebre amanfo chem said this is true and the earlier ampening for best started say omo ehwemu no maye bibia afa ho ne bebo nyesa we are not going to see the African continent to say they pen no because o share the other continents ahodo a ewo ye wiase afa na mu atim say niema ekoso na Africa de ye nia kasa we don't even know from our left to our right and the organization leading no which is the African Union no so no they are not helping matters and at this point in the we are looking at what the other presidents from the other countries know and so ehu about the performance of the African Union na yehu ba bia o metimi akeka no e de akodu se yen collapse no no man bia ande ne ho ana yensesa leadership anyhow anyway you know ye hwe ba bia ensem no ebe kwakodu update ahodo no eba ye de ebe brem now there is a video is circulating on social media right now amene okasa efa the late John Kuma of NPP ne yere Apostle Lillian ehu na odin sembia ba betoja nsem wo de betoja na akosi a whole lot of stairs and conversation because of the fact say maami ni kunu wuye besa fepepepe mu na wosan ewari biem now so she's talking about marriage anya de amanfo chem say is it that she's having issues with her recent marriage into na okasa same way and I say what is happening now Usha screens and so say marriage is good but not a career. Follow your dreams. Don't sacrifice your dreams for any man. If he doesn't believe in your dreams, don't believe in his own. Only agree to be a housewife on contract basis. Apostle Lillian Kuma Ayikwe. Segana for the etimi bibi ni penny say when you kuma biem or ya Ayikwe still na the kuma ne behye ho. And never mind ya recognizing it. So this is what Apostle Lillian Ediaba Betuja say Obabien emo Obabien nya na dwen say obejai na adwuma no akoye housewife na housewife wo we enye adwuma it is not a profession and I say it's not a career na nse we ba amafo chem say is it that ni kunu na aware no epese wo ja asofodie no okoye housewife ana and then the conversation be briaba but then you be kwakoti a video of her ebra na wode sa ensem we etudwa with regards to ensem aye kinkan say that if you want to be a housewife then you should make sure say what the pen esi paper so ni ukunu wa sign a contract and sana akwakoye housewife say no didn't nsem no etudwa yenti enimra.
Women, marriage is good but it's not a career. I said marriage is good but it is not what? Follow your dreams. Don't sacrifice your dream for anyone. Oh yes, I said don't sacrifice your dream for what? If he doesn't believe in your dream, don't believe in his own. Am I teaching bad? Oh no, man, don't you like such one? But as soon as you stay home and become that home wife, now we now attractive babe. So don't be convinced. We don't work because we need money. We don't work because we are hungry. Women, that is not why we are working. We work to fulfill purpose and mandate. There is an assignment that God that created them created us also. So he gave all of us assignment. You are not working because you are desperate. You are not working because stay home and I'll feed you. You too because you entered marriage to eat. If it was eating, why didn't you eat in your father's house? If it was food, why didn't you stay in your father's house? We have missed our perspective, our mandate and everything. We are not working because we are hungry. We are working because we also have an assignment, a responsibility to our society, responsibility to our family, responsibility in our generation. Work. Even in the Old Testament, we have Deborahs. They were working. We have Huldah. They were working. Which side of the Bible that said women should stay home? Proverbs 31. She was an industrious woman. So any man that doesn't believe that you should do something with your life, Anyway, except you also love to be a housewife. But, and if we agree that I should stay home for 5 years to take care of children, let it be on contracts. I said, let it be on what? Oh, the men are not happy with me. But teach your daughter as well. It's not right. No. Let it be on people that we have agreed, my wife. Yes, God has decided to put children in your womb. So after I impregnate you, we are spending maybe the first 6 years of our life to raise the kids. Stay home. And I am working. Whatever I work is 50-50. May God bless us. I am having a program that is coming on. That they said on the woman's side, I will say more. So my sons, when you hear, don't be bothered. But I thank God that even men in this country are the ones advocating for us. Yeah. Men are talking. Men are talking. And they are saying the truth. I like it when they are saying that marriage is not a venture. Marriage is not an investment. But I also want us to also educate the daughters that indeed don't go in with that mentality. Because the side chicks enter in for business. Yeah. They come in for business. And unfortunately, you enter only for love. And that's the problem. May the Lord help us. May the Lord help us. Young ladies, don't just celebrate or take the wisdom I'm giving you. One of the best things I did was to work for myself as well. May God bless you. Apart from that, they may be good, they may not be divorced. What if the man also gets down? What if the man gets sick? What if his job comes down? Are you going to let your children die out of hunger? Do something, for God has given all of us assignment. So those of you who are clapping you and celebrating you, go boy, go girl. It's not every applause that is leading you well. Some of them are just sending you to your early grave. Don't mind them. Don't mind the man. Don't mind this.
Abusia, Apostle Lillian Ayikwe, the wife of the late John Kuma of the New Patriotic Party, and Ekuti in Semwa, what did you know? Yes, so far with that disciple of Christ. I sorry no, and Uti in Semwa, what can I say? A man, I to one I see in ye Jumano, a housewife, and what you say, being a housewife is not a career. And to find a career for yourself, and some way better ja. To social media so couldn't pen a man for status or more drag. A big crack of as far as saying say, Omuti and someone mammy Canadian just say, Bibia just say, she wasn't so much into a late husband, John Kuma, because Nikunu ye, a favor pepe and warrior, Mr. Ikwe. Now, Omusha said, mammy about out all of a sudden talking about marriage and having a career as a woman, yeah, there. No musu say, Nancy Crowari ye. I think say after a marriage, I be who say, or call Thanksgiving a video circulating any idea no. Yen share down much of her sermons on the internet. Now out of the blues are way better on a man for speculating so much to say bia near maybe share down koso ye when the recent marriage you know emu. But then it be so say it is just out of it share experience. Say if now wo bibi ye no eno na aboa na ma nikunu dada John Kuma free mu no sebe one ne ma no omo anye mobo into no the same way about betuja. But then the conversation is still on and on and on. Now so betimi ache wadwene comment section no emu. Ni nyina emu no over na wotwe mu one of the issues, very sad one, that got a lot of people involving themselves in it no about Edwin Jima, a former Black Star player. Sabre de we chinchin bo muana na asem abeto apono so ayare ho ni nyina no efa bra wokopie mu ewo antenna ni show no eso na wokopie mu show no so na chese wo trema abusuafo ene na ni niye wo mu age na japade ne dan ne adeade e de free ne nsem na opeso oje ne dan okrankrata 8 bedroom abusuan. The back and forth of this story is quite a lot. And I know ka say abanta ne din e de list wo what the nsem ya betuja about Edwin Jima. What James say he's quite disappointed in Edwin Jima because abranti eno amongst everything ne career or shasi eno na kama papa career ne is so much attractive. Nti eno wan say woni na wishian for pre just 8 bedroom onko bo ne bra yi a nkenye say nei woni na wishian for every 8 bedroom ehun na yebekọ ne akotie nsem a list wo de tuja with regards to Edwin Jima and say we were team so ne de we di Edwin ho ya papa na ka 8 bedroom de odja ma o ma me na ebusuafo a na ye den yente list wo nsem no emra.
Okay, I'm telling you. Okay, Edwin Jima a boy more than 10 years for the Black was South African League Blasters no boche yankasa. I feel say career na onyaye no kabana nkasa afi ni kabusuafo na nkoso mutina na nkono ne yere tibe be a different property, I'm telling you. But say went to me anything or person kon on be enu na make person me chere me say went to me anya sade na any kwan say ekoba say to the reason why ade na blow up ne say or person or de ni career na believe say anko yi right or this shey busuafo anything na all to am because say yourself go be na dada no say one na dada no. So we carry and say, oh, what was your phone and you not get to where you got to. Now, yeah. And no video no. I started tearing because I felt say sana and some netia na all cano. Sana tia nature say sebe. Abusuya bi mut na na. Mini baby a ujina video no. How I know you are near the kudu no kakra atwaso. No krenya me enemy. I'm disappointed in Edwin Jima. Oh, Simon. Yes, highly disappointed in him. I didn't hear. The reason why I'm here highly disappointed in him, then say, then come out holding na say, me carry a buffem because of Sunsun Munyama, and or the share nebusuafo. That is my sister. Okay. And I want to prove to him, say, he can never accuse them of that. Wow. He can never accuse them of that. But be a metis here. If say, and your man shed and quay 1 or 2 be. Sika some be a drink a cranny at the other mammy. I should still be grateful for how far God has brought me. Okay. Because I know where I started from. Let me can what I see pa Edwin Jima call AFCON 2015. Yeah. Omo no di second na ye mo Chiroki no. Mekai. He's been part of the Blaster. Ebenu be no mo say enyante chiba. Yes. I remember because Obo All Stars in. Yes. Mekai. Obo Black let me catch us Obo Blasters team a lot of players. Perhaps only Chema Bafo. Say you fret players consistently. Only a friend, a friend. And that time they were winning. At that time, on the time, no winning. That time, no winning bonus. They were paying them winning bonus, good sums of money. Yeah. Okobo, Oko South Africa. South Africa, both teams bears a 3-4. Yeah, including Super Pirates. Yeah. Pulling younger than Black East. Okay. Orlando Pirates. Yeah, one of the biggest clubs. Yeah, big team. No way move back. The American what? Abusia antina chese wutie eye sports journalist eye list word they no chim say Frederick Jima ye share eye Ghana football mo we play critical roles ahodo as be a man a lot of income anka a dine we put there and what say ye issue na say ne downfall no we attribute no to eye ne parent ne maame ene ni nuaba dia na chese wedi ne ho ya opa e wo ho ne say ni na waka kosi say ye share na bra bobo ebia na ono a na one online ni niema ye. And this is not the first time. There've been a lot of Ghanaian footballers omonsem abetodwa utumi se ebinu mo hono ma omo anhyehyɛ omo niema ye ene niema age egom nsem ebimu dan ni ye ton ni ade and it's very sad that if you just said this should be a example to the upcoming players what Ghana football no emu. Now Yefree Frederick Jima nensem we so na abusianyenko piemu with the camp of the minority leader in parliament Yera Afenyo Markins dia na just say wababeye some expose bi amafo chem say Afenyo Markins asema wuken wugidi because you people there and propaganda there mo propaganda and MPPs like 5 and 6 we yentimi njuntu mani ye. Now Afenyo Markins nsema odi atudwa ni chem say right now in parliament ono ho he's on ground. He knows what is happening. no kro betimi amagana fo ate ase ne se NDC wudre mu a there are some MPs mahyebeduafo bi no mo hono ma wo mo bre papa e wo mo so mo aban na wo power de then so fifre somewhere mo bro mo bre no enya asem kito o jem say binum kra to get vehicles to move about and to talk of going to parliament na cry e dia mom na so mo ntimi nka enti a hyehyehye omo ho na ye MPP a nkasa bread o ma be si o mo dirty line wa abonten am obi hu de ekoso na chese amanfo temize afen o markings indirectly no or expose NDC for the hardship though their government is in power no, but emom wasan go MPP for any man say amaye hu MPP for ankasa no omunni nkabo omunni unity na in some way I generate a whole lot of conversations ewo social media eso ka kumye ginu kokonum yentie nsem a onu ankasa edetudwa
NDC for omo MPs no enye nsem na ebetumi aka omo mu bebre omo ho kire omo papa ebinum kura ka omo de beko parliament omo ni bi anso omo party ni nti be hu say de ehihye omo ho mimi ye leader minim de ekoso ho se asema ekoso wa NDC e wo parliament ho say ye MPP a ye iti mesre asembia ba yenka ne wodam yentwa so ye nananum wo ho meme nyi no me betu mpenifo kakra inti asemi ba na omo ka omo si yentwa so na yenkoyeka because 2028 NDC for muni candidate enkrofo bebre omo to mahama omo so onke omo ma ne second chance waba ye nyina ye de ni ehu enza sesi a okọ candidate no mu ni bi ye de nyame amanya Dr. Bawumia kogudu yesi mayen say ye ho se wunnie bi wanye ni yi a o kan hwe se dia wo beka no anya sana embre bi beso ye nyi obi ama ne sacrifice my party ye implement free SHS na ye den ye nya binum nya akukudro omo implement ye various sectors whatever it is appointees omo ye adwuma under Akufo-Addo abai let us embrace them. Let's show them love. Mimi Kotran cabinet was some few months. It was not easy. And Krofo Kuomuhuma party. It's Mayan Kuntokwa. And I'm sure with God on our side. If we unite, we remember our God, the MPP God. Mobro fweje come for Jesus wana mete me ha aba wewe mimo Bawumia shall come to power. 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 One more time. Bawumia shall come to power.
Abusia Kukurudu Bawumia shall come to power. Eno ne nsemo a eye afenyo markings. Wode akwa akotu gya na chese woni adesuafo bi ne di nhyiemu na wode sansem we etu edwa na utie eye amanfo consensus a wo mu erase o video mo mu chem say I say MPP na nkasa they don't know what to do e bi kra chese boyfriend a when treating the ex ye na or person was some we ne ex ne back no try so but sweet talking no emfa because in some after your mark in there can you win thing who na e bi kwa say at least NDC is serving Ghana with some kind of dignity compared to the MPP for ebe bi so chemu say Afeyo Markins is trying to impress Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and Samira Bawumia because there have been some hitches here and there. Now, man for Jim say, Afeyo Markins one supported Bawumia in the recent primaries for the voting of the presidential candidate for MPP because Okwa the constituency futu no na say Kennedy Japan the massive vote he did not campaign for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. He's trying to use this as some sort of bait to prove himself. Say, oh, me support Bawumia because nansenya omutu kwanya omukoma Dr. Bawumia ne yire ko yo ne echemu a Samira Bawumia snobe Afeyo Markins because of the fact that we who say one supporting Nikunu in the primaries and all, and he's trying to clear his name and all that. But he is the only person that knows why not all ton jumo bro fu jani adiade nyina ye hwe eno nso de be kwakosie wo ho ni nyina mu no health minister ye Kwabena Minta Kando ono nso ababonten ababe kasa wetwemu say an initiative the free primary healthcare initiative President John Dramani Mahama e di aba enche ye be rolling out and ye be launch on Wednesday 15th April no waka ho nsem kakra echemu sika pudu a afibia no ebe kom na buzuatim se sika no enyem kresika a wechemu said this is huge but Mampani John Dramani Mahama wasi na adwuni say wo be or the side initiative we be go akwamu ne de definitely na ebeba so but the question is how much is involved in this Minta Kando wode atuja yentie no embra.
The problem we have in Ghana is not availability of health professionals. That's not our problem. So, by the grace of God, we have enough in the system who will help us to run this system. In fact, it's even a deliberate policy to even assist and facilitate some of them to even go and work outside the country. So our problem is not about the availability of health workers. That is not our problem. So we never even reflected on that because it's not our problem. If it is not broken, you don't fix it. So it's not something we must contemplate on. So you realize that from time to time, and one of my PAs came to show me a video about somebody who was accusing me that I had said we wanted a space to employ before we can employ. You know, you realize that from time to time, government facilitates some people to leave the country. So they create physical space, not vacancies. So the space here is not a vacancy. It's a physical space. Because look, the truth of the matter is that we can only employ what we can pay. It's not as though we don't have the vacancies, but we have a country to govern at the end of the day. So if I go and sit in cabinet and I say, oh, I need free primary health care, then they give me. I want to recruit health professors, then they will give me. I need Mahama cares, then they will give you. Regional hospitals, they will give you. Why? Am I the only ministry? No. So at some point in time, we have a country to govern. And that is a reality. You may not be happy with it, but I'm sorry. That's a reality. We've done the costing, and we need not less than 1.2 billion Ghana cedis a year to be able to run this. So we've done the costing. So if you want by month, you can divide by 12 and you get a figure. So it's not an ad hoc program or project. We've thought through it. We've engaged widely. We've done our projections and we know what we are doing.
I was your health minister, Kwabena Minta Kando, and I could in Sema Wade, Eto Montin, so not just the free primary health care initiative, Eba Chips Compound Polyclinics near the Adiano, Sebe. Binumo on matimu the condition in Kayade Kakrebi. So Oko Hospital make deposit no one and Amhosa nya ye biabe one setim. Na nipa ne wanunti and a President John Dramani Mahama. This initiative way. A buy watch him so my dream ho pa said the amount for be to home kika kan ho nsem say oh ade we dey one man show I na NHIS wo ho ne dey no tem so my dream ho eno nti no ma si wo my dream pi say afi bia no mo de 1.2 billion Ghana cedis ane wa calculate quantity scan wo be hu e dey si wo say wo mo dey support the free primary healthcare initiative no na Okasa kakra edify employment with regards to nurses for any health professionals and ojum say yes bia they are shorting health professionals and say bibi there be and yes and they health professionals ne de omo ho pa na so omo nso omo fe nipa omo nim so metimi atwa omo ka enti everything that they are doing you know na say calculations eda ho mathematics eda ho a eno nso Ghana for bi said this initiative is a good initiative. The only thing they are praying for is mafibia ne sika no so 1.2 billion is not small money, but if they are ready to go ahead with it yempe ene eno ochina sembia and then Chambeko hospital near cancer stories be their church any day. We are not ready to listen to it and also about Betuja. Now, yen free in some way so na yen consent for so a year Minister for Communication and Digital Technology was also double as the MP for Ningo Pram Pram, a year Sam George. He has been dragged ever since NDC about power because of LGBTQ plus. Sam George in 2024 a championne a year campaign for the NDC. Didn't empower. Adeba kwa no de bo NPP for the fact that President former Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo was refusing to sign the anti-LGBT bill if parliament ekoto n'animu no. Enti na amanfo bebre e wo Moareshe mu se NDC ba sa hoden na obe level na wode akopre ama Mahama assign up until President Mahama ne Felix Ofosuku Achebeka said it's not a priority, but some judges are making a very huge U-turn Haseya Kamena so he's going on the other side of the table. Chemu say the LGBTQ plus is still a priority to him. Into for some of us now you feel say oh oba ben mu ni refi wato na dwemu no enye sa netie say na Sam George e dey nsem no etuja.
People don't understand what this is about. Just last week, I had to help a father whose 21-year-old son had been abducted by someone who was sodomizing him as his gay lover. A 55-year-old Ghanaian, UK Ghanaian. For 3 weeks, kept the man's 21-year-old son away from him. Thanks to COP Lydia Donko, Director General of CID, who worked with our team to identify, track the number, and identify the person and rescue the boy just last week. So if you don't know what's happening in this country, you will think that there is nothing in Sam George or Fechon. But when it comes to the innocence of our children and protecting our family values, we will. And to those who say we have other priorities, this is a priority for us. This is a priority for us. Any country worth its salt can deal with multiple priorities at the same time. We are not saying we should stop building roads because we don't have enough hospital beds. We are not saying we should stop building schools because we don't have enough pipe-borne water flowing through our taps. We are dealing with our roads. We are dealing with our hospitals. We are dealing with our schools. We are dealing with water. We will also deal with our family values. It remains a priority. As for me, as the member of parliament for Ningo Pram Pram, the people voted for me. And that was one of the reasons why they increased my vote margin from 69% to 74%. They said, Sam, go back to parliament and make sure this bill is passed. So for me and my people in Ningo Pram Pram, this is a priority, along with our roads, which are getting fixed, along with our health clinics, which we are building, along with our school blocks that we are building, and the water problem that we are tackling. So it remains a priority for us.
Finally, one of your co-sponsors, the other one eating for job, keeps on talking about double standards and hypocrisy among this current government. What will you say to him?
Like I've said, I won't be drawn into the debate of politicization. Honorable Intim Fojo signed the bill. He was the only NPP member of parliament who signed the bill under President Akufo-Addo. At the time, he was deputy minister, and I have credited him every single step of the way for being bold. However, when the bill was placed before President President Nana Addo in February, he didn't call on President Nana Addo to sign. And I understood the challenge and the difficulty he had. He should not bring us into politics. And I had a conversation with him 2 nights ago, and we've agreed there needs to be a dial down in the politicization. I said to him, I listened to his press conference, and I asked him, you said President Mahama should sign the bill. You are a sponsor with me of this current bill. You know that the bill is before the committee. So when you do a press conference and say President Mahama should sign, what should he sign? There is no need for us to politicize this matter. And so, not just to my brother and Team Fojo, but to all the signatories who have come on board now from the NPP, they are welcome. This is a collective fight. LGBTQ does not know NDC, MPP, CPP. He only knows the innocence of our children. Let's not play politics with this. Let us fight this fight as a Ghanaian people. Thank you. We're going to be rolling out in 12 universities.
For that is a year Sam George Ningo Pram Pram Rashe Bejeni and I could in Sema with the Tuja with regards to LGBT now or Trema. It is still a priority, not to say this is more like a counter to Nsemwa Felix Fusukwache and President John Dramani Mahama Bekanya about the fact that there are priorities and then they need to and what Jim said with whether priority or no priority, no LGBT still remains a priority as we can see on the screens. Inti enwu here enyema bebre wo a we say wo mind we mu, but then we can prioritize all of them and then work on them accordingly. Inti neni edi echire person say or my scenario of even nyema esi last week of a guy that is being sodomized. Any idea? Ne was a CID boss intervening and all that. So he's still supporting the goal for the anti-LGBT bill to be passed. And no, and as Sam George, as he is the Minister for Communications and Digital Technology. Said the ministry will be rolling out a coders program where additional for no muko grumi or mono makoshian how to do coding near their day. Ochemse will be enrolled in about 12 universities across the country. Every region biano and so Ebenya Center. Now wabobo some of the universities, University of Ghana, University of Education, UCC Munina. Now, there is more to this. It raises a whole lot of concern. Man for James Afena, Sam George, Bosch or Shay, what do so with regards to the sharing of laptops near their dear Ebeboa, Ama, Umwedi Sajumari. To a chema about 1 million coders, say, Umbe trainee, or more, was our program. We so you could say the Sam George, or then 72.
We're going to be rolling out in 12 universities. We'll be rolling out this first phase in 12 universities. In the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, my alma mater. In the University of Ghana, they just came back from the moon. The University of Mines and Technology, the University of Development Studies, and the University of Cape Coast. Other universities will be dealing with the University of Technology and Applied Sciences, the Ghana Communication Technology University, the University of Education Winneba, the University of Health and Allied Sciences, University of Professional Studies Accra, the University of Environment and Sustainable Development in Sunyani, no, that's in Somanya, and University of Energy and Natural Resources in Sunyani. Now, as part of rolling out 1 million coders, we've had to work with private sector because government is unable to fund the entirety of the project. And we're grateful to one of our partners who have shown very good faith with us, MTN Ghana. MTN Ghana at the group level immediately signed, in fact, we're one of the first private companies to sign an MOU with the ministry on the 1 million coders. I'm sure some of you in the media reported and have seen the report that MTN supported us with about 2 million, equivalent of about $2 million US. We've decided that what we will do is use that to get equipment that will be specially used in some of the universities we are partnering with. So the KNUST, the University of Ghana, University of Mines and Technology, University of Development Studies, and University of Cape Coast are going to be getting equipment. So that equipment, that amount is giving us about 2,000 laptops. And so those 2,000 are being split across the 5 universities I've mentioned. The other 7 universities will be getting their quota from the government stock holding. But we want to put on record that we are extremely grateful to MTN for supporting us. And to the 5 universities, you should also join us in extending our gratitude to MTN for their support. It's factory firmware. So instead of seeing your usual Windows backdrop, these are the backdrops you see, is the 1 million coders. And like I said, they are all, so that you know, They're all chip embedded. Nobody should try to go and pick any of them. We'll come and pick you up in your house because we'll find you. So they're all chip embedded. So it turns on, Ahonfe Mahama is there. And then it now begins, it will do the whole loading and all. Because it's the first time it's being turned on. I mean, and to all our regional managers, as you go to the warehouse to pick the numbers for your region, each laptop comes with a digital locker. So make sure you pick the locker along. And even to the university campuses as well. And to the young men and women we've recruited at 130, it's your responsibility to work with your MPs and your chief executives to make sure that the security of these devices are kept. We can track anybody who picks them up, but the issue is we don't even want anybody to pick them up in the first place. So let's take that step. So basically, it's now, like when you buy a new laptop, it's now being set up. But basically, all the laptops will have the 1 million coders as the background in there. Maybe MTN should, we'll work with MTN. For the ones that are going to be going from MTN, we'll have some sticker that indicates that they're from MTN. Thank you very much. I think that if there's no other question in the room, I would want to say, there's a question. Each of the 16 regions. So in each of the 16 regions, we've got learning centers. We've got, in the Hafo region, we have 4 centers. In Ashanti, there are 3. In Bono, there are 7. Bono East, 8. Central region, 9. Eastern region, 4. Greater Accra region, 24. Northeast, 3. Northern, 11. OT, 4. Savannah, 7. Upper East, 11. Upper West, 7. Volta, 14. Western, Western is 9. And then Western North is 5. Bringing you to 130 learning centers. Now, for each of our learning centers, we're going to be deploying, for a start, 50 laptops that have been customized for the purposes of the 1 million coders. So it means that if you do the simple mathematics, today we'll be distributing approximately 6,500 laptops out of our current stock, which I've announced already is 20,000 laptops that we hold. Now, apart from that, and the main learning centers, we're also working very closely with academia. As part of the processes of rollout, working with the Honorable Minister for Education, I had a meeting with all vice chancellors of all public and private universities last year to discuss the possibility of rolling out this on our university campuses as well. So like I said, it's a lot of work that we've been doing in the background to get to today's position.